And finally, while in the US we have kind of the mantra of shareholder value maximization in our, and Mike may go into a little more detail on this, in our questionnaires, in our interviews with the CEOs, when we asked what are your top priorities, maximizing shareholder value was not only not their top priority, it was not number 2, not number 3, I think it was number 4. What we see much more is these top leaders engaged with dealing with the interests, with the objectives, with the well-being of a number of different stakeholders, not just shareholders, employees, the broader society, the local community, and it's all those interests that they're trying to sort of balance in a very sort of judicious way. And one might make the argument this could change over time. We will see. My guess would be that it's unlikely to change in some of the ways that we have seen in the US. I have mentioned some meetings here, but in the interest of time, I will only talk about one. I had a wonderful meeting with Keshav Mahindra, who is all of 85 years old. He's chairman of the Mahindra Group. He's one of Wharton's oldest alums, the oldest alum in India. He came to Wharton as an undergrad during World War II and has remained a loyal friend ever since. And he talked about how they were suffering a downturn a couple of years ago in their automobile manufacturing part of the conglomerate. Downturn in India means they were growing at 7% instead of 9.5%, and I wish we had those problems in the US right now. And he says, you know, we had to shut down our plant, and the problem was I started to think, if I lay off even one worker, there are 5 others in the family who will be suffering because of the primary breadwinner not having his job anymore. I said, we can't do that. But we had to shut down the plant. So I said, Keshav, so what did you do? So he said, we had to shut down the plant, so we shut it down, and we said to all the people, we'll pay you all your salary, to which they said, what should we do in return? He says, you know, we have gardens everywhere, in our head office, in our plants. Come and work on the gardens, and we'll pay you a full salary. And then with a big smile, he says, we have really satisfied and loyal workers, and we have the best gardens of any company in India. Now, there are examples in the US of companies that do things like this. Clearly, it is not the norm.